welcome to the Dr. Mom Show. It's Dr. D, mom of three. Thanks for joining in this week. I'm super excited because my episodes have been so much fun so far. And if you don't know, if you haven't looked at my first rebranding episode, I informed you that I'm rebranding the Dr. Mom Show. Last week we had a special guest, Ms. Dawn Whitty, who runs a foundation called Desire to Inspire. If you missed that episode, definitely go back and check it out. She is doing something wonderful for kids and people around the world. She will be back with us on another show also because she is starting a skincare line, which I am super excited about. So today I will be talking about bullying, and the reason is that school is going to start again for a lot of places. I know the time's a little different. Some places start in August because they get out sooner from school, and some places start in September because they get out later from school. So I thought whether you've already either started school or going to start school soon or going to start school in the next couple of weeks, I felt that this was something good to address. So what is bullying? So pretty much bullying in simple terms is when somebody who is usually bigger or older starts messing with somebody who is usually smaller or younger. That's normally the situation. Now, needless to say, it could be the same age, but one person could be bigger in size than the other person, which makes it more intimidating. Now, I don't know if anybody out there has been bullied, but it's not fun at all. Sometimes people just think it's funny and they're just joking, but a lot of times it can be very hurtful and can have long-term effects. So today I'm trying to address both with kids and adults. So as parents, we know how to kind of pinpoint if our kids, or if we are suspicious that our kids are being bullied, and also just for parents to talk to your kids about bullying so they're comfortable coming to you or their guidance counselor or principal if something's going on. So let's use an example. Let's say Johnny goes to school and Johnny is an average kid, gets B's at school. He's a good boy. He maybe plays a sport. And then one day Johnny gets pushed over by Frankie. Not good. Everybody starts laughing. So now Frankie, who's a little bigger than Johnny and who is also in Johnny's class, is like, if I can get attention from this, I want to keep doing this, because a lot of times bullying has to do with attention and it has a lot to do with power. So now Frankie sees that Johnny is intimidated and scared by him. So Frankie feels that the ball is in his court. So now Frankie every day goes out of his way to make Johnny's life miserable. Not good at all. Whether that's tripping him, pushing him in a locker, putting his head in the toilet at school, embarrassing him in his classes by pushing his books down, taking his backpack, taking his money, bullying him for his things such as his pens, pencils, notebooks, again, money. These are all different ways that bullying can happen. Or even in gym class, if they're together, Frankie may be throwing the ball at Johnny in a mean way. So there are different ways that people can be bullied and intimidated. Now, one, as parents, what we need to do is, on a daily basis, ask your kids how their day at school was. Also become familiar with who your kids or your kid, who their friends are, because this will help you to know if they are kind of backing off from hanging out with somebody, or if they're hanging out with a crew that they normally don't hang out with. So it's good to be familiar with these things. Also, it's good to have these conversations with your child, because if something goes wrong, they'll be comfortable to come and talk to you. Now, before we go further, why don't we check out a Tripsy clip?
Oh yeah, yeah, go eat this. Oh yeah. Are you playing the guitar, Luke? Go, Ethan. Show how you play the drums. How you play the drums? Let Mama see. Oh, you just dancing? Okay. How do you play the piano? Play the piano. You're just dancing. Alina, how do you play the piano? Yeah. Go, go, go. Dance party in the store. Dance party. All right. Yay. Good job.
Aren't they so cute? Gotta love those little tripsies. So going back to bullying, so I started talking about how it's important for us as parents on a daily basis to talk to our kids and ask them how their day at school was, in addition becoming familiar with who their friends are. The other thing that is important is to ask them about bullying. Do you know of any bullies who are in your school, or are any of your friends being bullies? Another big thing that you need to ask is to make sure your child is not a bully. That's just as important as making sure that your child is not being bullied. Because again, who wants to be the victim? Nobody wants to be the victim, nor do we want our child or children to be the victim. But in addition, we should not be bringing up our child or our children to become the bully. So also keep that in mind. Now, one thing to remember is at home, make sure your child or your children are in a loving environment. A lot of times it's been shown that bullies come from an environment where sometimes there's domestic violence, there's mental abuse, emotional abuse. It doesn't even have to be physical. Again, sometimes it's just mental and emotional. Sometimes they're not getting the attention they need, so when they go to school and they realize that by bullying or pushing somebody around, they get the attention that they want. So you have to keep that in mind. Another good thing is to keep close contact with your child's teacher, so that if something happens, they'll feel comfortable coming to you. Or even if you ask questions, you just say, hey, can you keep an eye out? If your child says that somebody isn't being nice to them, at least it makes the teacher aware. The best thing is if you know that either one, your child is being bullied, or two, your child is being a bully, early intervention is the best thing. Kind of having everybody sit down and talk about it and figure things out, because you don't want it to go to some crazy extreme where somebody is getting hurt in a very bad way or needing to be hospitalized or anything like that, because that can happen sometimes. A lot of times we don't realize what we do and what we say, what kind of impact it has. In addition, bullying can also cause depression and a decrease in self-esteem, and kids and even adults who get bullied to isolate themselves. So those are also important things that parents should keep an eye out for. Now, with that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic new school year. I hope you have all your school supplies. I remember that was one of my favorite times of going to school, getting all my school supplies and getting my brand new notebooks that are nice and clean when I go to school. So definitely have fun with that. Make sure you do awesome at school and learn, do all of your homework. And parents, take the time out to even sit down with your kids to do homework with them and to check to make sure that they're doing all their work. Also, I am so excited to let you know that, as I told you before, I wrote my first children's book, and it is up on Amazon for pre-order. The ebook is, and I'm excited to tell you that The Tripsy and Me, my book, became a bestseller on Amazon, so I'm super excited. So definitely check that out. Again, it's The Tripsies and Me. And don't forget to wash your hands, kiss your kids, love your family, and say your prayers goodnight. Bye-bye.